So we are here with another AOC artist check-in, and I'm Daryl Grant, and I have the honor of being today having to join me the artist extraordinaire, my sis, queen of all things teen in Atlanta. I'm telling you, founder and CEO of Chop Art, Malika Whitley. Hey sis, how are you?
Oh my gosh, I'm so good right now. Just being able to be on this platform with you. I'm so grateful for that. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, of course. I mean, and I talked a little bit about Chop Art, founder, CEO, but we know each other from not just Chop Art, but your work that you do in the community of taking fine arts into transitional living programs and infusing curriculums with that fine art, music, art, theater, dance, all of that. But also Camp Envision. Every year, it was
Yeah.
kind of bittersweet. This year, I was kind of like, oh my God, oh my God. Every year I've had the honor of working with you and over 100 teens at Camp Envision and serving in the capacity of their theater instructor. And let me just say the relationship you have with them is amazing. The relationship that I've been able to garner with those teams through you and Chop Art is amazing. Your advocacy for human trafficking, for LGBTQ plus rights, your advocacy for youth homelessness, I admire you and I honor you for everything that you
Wow.
bring to the table. So I missed you this summer, not being able to serve with you at Camp Envision.
Same.
So how are you
Same.
with everything that's happening and everything that you have on your table? How
Oh
are
my gosh.
you on?
I just want to echo that I'm so grateful for the ways that you have poured into me, into the organization, into the teams. There's so much that we have accomplished that we wouldn't have been able to do if you weren't by our side. So thank you so much. Um, I think in this season, I am I'm kind of pensive, just trying to figure out what's next. Trying to do that in a way that reflects a healthy work environment. And that environment would need to look like an environment that pours into the people who are working it just as much as the people we're serving. And so last year I went on sabbatical, and that was the most brave, reckless, and like badass thing I think I could have ever done. Honestly, I was so afraid to do it. But I think most founders know that once you hit a burnout part of your journey, then you really don't have a choice but to step back. And I'm so grateful that I did it, because I feel like I'm coming into this season with a lot more clarity. And so with that said, I think how I'm doing in this season is just giving myself the grace to be still, so that I can really understand what's needed for the teams. Like you said, we weren't able to do Camp Envision this year because of everything going on. I'm gonna go ahead and delay it until 2022, just to be sure that we're keeping our kids' health at priority. But trying to figure out how we can do digital programming and how that works with our teens who are in transitional housing, are experiencing some type of homelessness, and will they have access to the internet, our internet enabled devices, to be able to participate in programming. And so just really going back to the drawing board like we did, when Chop Art first started, we were first putting Camp Envision and the in-shelter programs together, of like, what are our teens' needs and how can we meet them there? Right. And I'm excited about the new challenge of that, for sure.
Well, look, I'm ready. You know me, I'm ready. I told you. Hey, whatever you need, I am there for as long as you are in service. Like, I am there to work with you. And I've been thinking about that too, like going through my phone and through my Google Drive and seeing all the videos we've had. I have experienced this summer doing the conference that we do every year for my church.
Yeah.
Now organizing that, this was our first virtual conference. So now I kind of know around how to package something and play a video and broadcast. So I was looking at
really
and us, getting online and just talking to them about, because we missed that week, and the conference is usually the same week as the camp. So I'm usually doing running back and forth. But so I definitely want to, reach out to you and see if we can get something together, online, just to show some videos, connect with a few teams, bring them in to the broadcast to talk about their experience, just to share that and share their stories. Because I know we're all about that too, empowering teams to share their stories, because there's so much healing in that, which is all a part of the good work that you do. So, I just wanted to check in with you and see what's coming up, what's going on. Here in Atlanta, we know how the climate has been with the protests. People are now, thank God, protesting and raising their voices. But you've been one leading the charge and raising your voice, sometimes in a place where you're the only speck of color. I mean, you've done the TED Talks. You've been featured in the Route 100. I mean, come on, Sid. So I'm just saying, like, sometimes you've been the only one in your category, so you know what that's like. How do you feel now with the climate of everyone starting to raise their voices and protest and march? What is that doing for you in this season?
I am trying not to be jaded, actually, Daryl.
I understand.
It seems like it seems like there may be some who are in it, and there may be but it seems like a lot of posturing, a lot of like victory laps. And it's like, if you actually understood what it is that you're talking about, or if you actually read the scholars and the revolutionaries that you are using for aesthetics and for quotes, then so much of your work would be different. So much of the way you move through life and the way you interact with the people you serve would be different, So it's a little bit difficult right now for me to figure out what people's intentions are. But I am feeling I'm feeling really empowered. I'm trying to make sure my attention stays with the people who we are talking about, right? And that I don't get caught up in a gaze from communities I don't belong to, because I think that'll be really distracting to me. And so I do feel more empowered to be able to speak truth to power. Way more empowered than I did before, right? Because like you said, I've been, talking my, for a long time. And a lot of times it's me by myself. It is me saying something that would be, just casual amongst communities that I belong to, but when I'm saying it in a room where I'm the only one, it's the most radical thing they've ever heard, and they're like thrown off. So I do feel that I have more permission to speak my truth now, regardless of what other people are doing or what their intentions may be. I feel that even with chop art, I feel that what the young people are doing in the streets is going to empower chop art to be able to say, hey, homelessness is a white supremacy issue, okay? Homelessness is a transphobic and homophobic issue. And we have to really talk about, why certain teens experience homelessness in order for us to really get down to it. And also I've just been talking about, like, a bunch of people have been asking me, okay, so what are y'all doing now? When are y'all coming back, hard? And I've just been saying, look, I need the white nonprofit treatment, okay? Lay out the red carpet for me the way you lay out the carpet for my white peers who serve Black communities. Give me the funding, give me the partnerships, give me the staff, the way that you do for my peers, because I don't want to go through another season.
Right.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said, you've done the work. You got the numbers to show it. Come on.
Exactly. We have proven that we can do this work. Okay. We have proven that we can pivot, that we can listen to the communities that we serve, and that we can rise to the occasion, and that we can do it for very little. Right. The thing is that we shouldn't have to, you know, and I don't want to go back into a season like we were in before, where we were running on fumes and being applauded for it, being told, oh, you're so strong. You know, no one should have to be that strong. I don't want magical Black woman cookies. You know, I'm not interested in that. And so I am feeling more empowered in this season to say, look, in order for us to do this work, it needs to be fully funded. Wow. And that's just, if you want the work here, you need to fund it. Yeah. And like, not be running off of imposter syndrome and ego, you know, and letting those things create an environment for people to undercut the organization and in turn undercut our teams, because they don't deserve that. They deserve a fully funded organization.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Wow. And I mean, that goes right into the next question. How, as a community, an important part of checking in with people I care about and seeing your face, of course, and being able to hear your voice and connect with you, but is to make sure we hear and understand how we as a community can support you. How can we lift you up in this time? Or what are your needs? What are you finding that is a consistent thing that you're having to pull on? What do you need during this time? How can we support you, whether it's artistically, whether it's something personally? I just wanted to know, how can we help you and lift you up during this time?
I think right now we have so much opportunity to be creative with what we can do from our homes. And when we launch our digital programming, we're gonna need help even with, depending on what we're doing, you know, even with dropping off supplies to the kids, you know, we're gonna need help with gathering internet-enabled devices for our kids, and coming up with partnerships from the internet providers so that they provide our kids with service. So, you know, it'll still be an all hands on deck. But I think what we can do individually, not only just for Chop Art, but for all the organizations who are out here doing this work, especially POC-led organizations, is to talk to these funders. When you see these corporations come down your timeline talking about Black Lives Matter and using the language that organizers have given them, but their boardrooms are white, their directors are white, everybody in the organization is cis, they have no trans representation at all, you know, and then they give not even 1% of their revenue that we make for them, okay, the consumers make for them, they give not even 1% of their revenue back to the community and ask us to cheer. You know, call them on it. I think that if we all speak up, it'll make it so much easier when we are individually in these spaces by ourselves to be able to speak our truth, you know, because we're all speaking collectively, whether it's online or whether it's in meetings, you know. So I would encourage you to raise your bar, because the bar is very low right now. And I'm grateful for, you know, all the things that people are doing and the progress they're making. But we really have to see this as a state of emergency, especially for the homeless community, because there's going to be a homeless boom that's about to happen. That's going to be terrible. It's about to be terrible. And so we need these corporations, these foundations to open their purse. Yeah.
I mean, they already pay enough taxes so they can afford it. I mean, I'm just saying. But I mean, that is a way that I think people forget that now, especially, I'm glad you started by saying at home. Since we are at home, we can think of more creative ways to raise our voices and do exactly just that, to call out those people we have relationships with. Hey,
Mm.
I noticed in your newsletter you said blah blah blah. How are you doing that? I know a
Yeah.
great organization that those
Yeah.
are ways, and I spend my time doing it all the time. And I'm glad
Mhm.
that you mentioned digital learning and virtual programs, because this year I stepped onto the board of directors for Georgia Connections Academy, which I'm
Oh,
okay,
congratulations.
super excited about. But because they're doing amazing things over there. But being in the forefront of virtual learning and digital learning, they have resources for those students and families that are dealing with lack of internet connection and lack of computers. So I have a resource there, and we have a whole page dedicated to those type of resources that we can share and get those out there to some of our families and some of our
Wow,
teams.
that's
So
amazing.
you can definitely be in talk. I'm always ready to come
Yes, you are.
show up and help. I mean, sweating and all. I'm gonna be there with some drinks.
Look, I call you the locksmith, okay? Like, you the locksmith. Like, there are people who give you the map. You show up and you're like, okay, we're gonna break in this door, okay?
Come on, let's go.
We're gonna
Let's
open
go
this
in.
door up.
Go in.
I love
Let's
it.
go in. Yeah. So I'll definitely get with you on that offline. But what's coming up? Like, what's coming up for you? Whether it be artistically, anything that you're leading that we need to be on our, put on our calendars, on our radar. I know that Chop Art, which I'm glad Chop Art is taking time to revamp and really think about what the needs are, because that's how you're able to provide the best service. So I'm glad that I'm a part of an organization where they're actually taking time to do that, because I'm a little weary about some of the ones that still trying to do, but they missing the mark. So I'm glad that we're taking time to get it right. But what do you have coming up that we can make sure that we keep a lookout for?
Yeah, man. Well, I'm really happy that we were awarded a grant from the Community Foundation. It was the largest grant. Thank you so much. It was the largest grant that we've gotten in our history. So I'm so grateful for that, and grateful for Heather Infantry, who led a campaign to make sure that Black organizations were funded. So she had them actually go through the funding cycle again after they had not granted any Black organizations. She made them redo the whole thing and made sure that we got our money. So I'm so grateful for that. And so from that, I'm excited to be in the ideation stage and to figure out next steps. Next year, I want to do a whole digital showcase with our teens. I want them, the in-person performances that they do, I want them to be able to do that in a digital form and just tear it down and really redefine what it means to have those kind of performances in that format. I want them to be pioneers in that space alongside all the other organizations that are doing it. And then I'm excited for us to just kill it with Camp Envision. I want us to start off with a conference for the greater community to learn about youth homelessness, as well as for the kids to be able to, kind of have an orientation, before Camp Envision. So many of our teens who we have seen actually grow up, are at the age where they can be counselors. And so, you saw even last year how much more support we had, just because the teens were at age to be able to take on the responsibility, and because they happily wanted to, And so I am really excited to go back into Camp Envision with new eyes, with all the experience we have, and with the spirit of innovation that we are experiencing right now,
I think there's so much room for this digital platform to be added to everything we were already doing, and put it in the hands of our teens and go, here, this is what we're passing on, the production of it all. And we've been having that production up every year, and now we're just going to take it over to the digital crossover. That's what it's going to be.
Come on. Like, how amazing would that be? And camp is so rural and analog, and to be able to add that in. And can you imagine being able to have therapy for all the kids because we've integrated a digital space into the camp?
Come on.
I mean, my goodness, like my vision for these kids and all the things that they're able to enjoy from chop art. I
Right.
just want all those things for them, and so I am excited right now for all the possibilities. I'm also humbled by the spirit of this year of just being in constant flux and being willing to move with the current of the universe, you know, and so as excited as I am to try new things, I'm also excited to learn the lessons and to do that gracefully and to do that surrounded by a community that cares about our teens.
Wow. Wow. Oh my God. I love you. I'm so grateful that you are in this position that you're in, because you're the right one to be doing this type of work, and to be so forward thinking and considering the teens, because you have a relationship with them. It's not this savior complex that some of the other organizations have going on. It's rooted in relationship. It's rooted in community activism. You're from that community. It's just all the aspects of everything that you do are there for a reason. So my God, you know me. I'm here. Whenever you need me, just let me know. I'll let the theaters know. Hey, I'm sorry. Chop Art is called. I gotta go. I gotta go to work.
I
See y'all
love
later.
how you ride for us. Cause I'm like, Daryl has so much going on right now. You out here, you know, making it happen. But I am so grateful that you always have a part in your heart for us and our teens, that like I said at the top of this call, there's so much that we have accomplished that we wouldn't have been able to do without you. And I'm so grateful for your commitment to us, like seriously.
No, I have grown so much. And if I'm not there, I have a relationship with the teens myself, so they're going to call me out on it. So I got, Mr. D, where you at? Like, I mean, don't be charging up my phone asking me where I am. Excuse me? Like, you here, you not here. Like, I was a day late. They were all calling me from the woods. I thought they had no reception in the woods. I was a day late, and they were, like, charging my phone up. Like, it was crazy.
Oh, my gosh.
But how can we stay in contact and follow you, whatever, on, so whether it be, you know, Instagram, social media, Chop Art, like, what is the website? Where can people go?
Follow us on Instagram. It's at Hey Chop Art. That's also our tag on all other socials, but I would say Instagram when we are active the most active platform. And then in the meantime, to learn more about us, you can go to chopart.co. That's CHOPART.co. And that'll tell you more about our programs, about our origin story, and all of the ways that you can get involved. So, like I said, I'm really excited for the lessons, and just excited, like the NAP ministry says, to be able to do this work in a way that is reflective of rest and restoration, because just as much as our teens deserve it, all the founders, please understand that you also deserve rest. You know, that you do not have to sacrifice yourself to the work.
That's so good. That's so good. I mean, my sis, it's always good to see you. We're going to do this more often. I'm ready to talk, ready to work. Let me know what you need. You know, I love you. It's good to see you smile. And I just thank you and support you in everything that you're doing. So
I love you too.
My sis Malika, this has been another AOC Artist Check-In. Until next time, y'all. Bye.